Hi you guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brad. This is the Firefighter's Financial Toolbox. As you guys have seen lately, I've been doing a lot of ETF reviews, and that's all thanks to my viewers who have asked me to review different ETFs. And today we're going to review another ETF. This is the iShares Evolved US Technology ETF. That's ticker symbol IETC. Now, this is asked from a viewer named Kayvon Johnson. KJ, I hope I spelled your name. I said your name right. He said in his comments that he thought I might mess it up, but I'm giving it my best shot. Anyway, thank you for asking me to review this, and let's get into it. So the first thing I notice about this ETF is it is an active managed ETF. It says IETC is an actively managed market cap weighted fund of large, mid, and small cap U.S. stocks in the technology sector, according to alternative classification system designed by machine learning algorithms. This uses AI to scan through annual reports of companies to find companies that they think will do better in the long run. This fund is issued by BlackRock, who, as you guys know, is the largest investment house in the world, and it's marketed under the iShares brand, of course. This fund's been around since 2018, so it's not a long-term fund, you guys. It does have a pretty good expense ratio, especially for being actively managed at just 0.18%. So 18 basis points, you guys. That's a really good low-cost fund for an active managed. It's got about $140 million in assets under management, so it is a smaller ETF at this point. And it says that comparing ETFs could be VGT, the Vanguard Informational Technology ETF. So as we scroll down here, let's take a quick look at how it's done. So if we look at the year to date, we see that this fund is about 18.07%. For 1 year, it's 33.39%. And for the 3 years, it's at about 26.2%. So doing pretty well. All of these are American companies. If we look at the top 10 sectors, now it breaks it down into different sectors of information technology. So you have software and IT services, computers and phones, semiconductors, diversified retail, professional and company, communications, investment banking, healthcare equipment, hotels and entertainment, as residential and commercial. Top 10 holdings: Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Facebook, Alphabet or Google, and that's A shares and C shares. Nvidia, Visa, Adobe, and Salesforce.com rounds out the top 10. Now you guys, these top 10 companies make up almost 58%. So I thought I'd do a really quick comparison here and look at it compared to VGT. So let's take a real quick look. Now, expense ratios, 18 basis points compared to 10. So VGT is cheaper, but is also an index ETF. It follows the MSCI US Investable Market Information Technology Index, where, as we said, IETC is a active managed, so it's not going to fall in index. Number of holdings, 242 compared to 344. But if we scroll down, let's take a look really quick at the performance over the last 3 years. You guys, now IETC is ahead. It's got 31.98 compared to 29.8. Both of them have been kicking ass for the last couple of years because, as we know, 2020, IT led the market in the recovery. But let's scroll down and look at the top 10 holdings. They're pretty similar, you guys. Now we see that Microsoft and Apple kind of switch positions between the two here, but then we've got Amazon, Facebook, Alphabet. Where over here it's Nvidia, Visa, PayPal. So there is a little difference, but overall, a lot of the same companies make up these top 10s. And we see that both of them make up over 57% of the investing. So let's take a look and see how this would compare to, say, just a standard S&P 500 ETF. So let's go back. Let's see. If we scroll up here, we know that we can only go back to 2018 because that's when the fund was balanced. So let's put in IETC as opposed to VOO, which is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. 100% each. We're starting with $10,000 in 2018. And actually, it's going back to 2019. So as you can see that this is beat the S&P 500 pretty handily. And I think when we scroll down, we're going to see that's due to last year's recovery. But that $10,000 in the iShares Evolved US Technology ETF would have become $24,600. Where if you had the same amount in just a standard S&P 500, you'd have just a little over $18,000. So we're talking about $6,000 difference in 3 years. If we scroll down here, we see that 2019, it beat it by about 8%. Last year, it killed it by about, 20-some percent. And then this year so far, it's beaten it, but not by very much. Let's see, 17.6 to 15.9. So you're talking a percentage, a little over a percentage there. Pretty close this year. Remember, these are short term, you guys, and it doesn't give you an example of what's going to happen long term. So now I want to compare that to VGT. So this is a actively managed fund. The IETC is active managed versus an index fund in information technology. For the same time frame, you guys, the difference is less than $100. So for the 8 extra basis points, I'm not sure that I would invest in the active managed. Now, in short term, they may be able to do a lot more with your money. But for my money, putting it, if I'm going to slant or tilt a little bit to information technology, which isn't a bad play. We know that IT, all the advancements we get in IT are where all of our advancements come. But if you look at down here, we see that actually VGT beat it in 2019. They were just about even, 0.5% difference in 2020. Now it is losing a little bit this year by about 3.5%. But over the long run, we can see over 3 years, as I said, less than $100. Do I think this is a good bet? I think if somebody wants, I think if somebody wants to invest or they want to tilt to information technology, I think it's a good play. For an active managed fund at a cost of only 18 basis points, you guys, that's inexpensive. That's a good, cheap fund. I like that. Again, thank you to Kayvon Johnson for asking me to review this ETF. You guys, if you have other ETFs you want to see, put them in the comments because I like to do this stuff. I learn by looking up and doing the investigative work on these. Again, I like to compare them to others in their field as well as just a standard S&P 500 ETF because I think a lot of times that's all most of us really need. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy this? If you did, do me a favor, hit that like button. It really helps it really helps me get more views, and it lets me know this is something that you guys like. Or if you don't like it, give me the thumbs down. Hey, be honest. If you're not already subscribed, you know the deal. Hit the red button, ring the bell. We'll see you next time. Thanks.